We're going to talk team building. Teams are trending. In fact, there is an excellent report that is out from Real Trends. Loop sponsored it, I think ERA, and there's someone else that helped sponsor. They interviewed teams around the country, and it really is like a 40-page report. Go to Real Trends or just Google it. I actually think if you go to our sites, you can see we have articles posted up on it at WBNLcoaching.com, and if not, we'll put it up on realestateteambuilder.com. Read that article if you haven't seen it yet, so that you can find out a little bit about what people are talking about. Hey, Judy, thanks for joining. I'm glad to see you again. Saw you recently. So as you're here listening to me, listen, I want to make this interactive. I'm going to go for 12 weeks in a row, and I'm here to answer questions and also going to talk a little bit about teams. So I'm going to kick it off like I always do. And generally when I'm talking to a group of agents, I really like to set the stage by asking this question. What do you do for a living? So, hey, I'm going to ask you, Judy, what do you do for a living? Just tell me how you answer that. Anybody else listening, tell me how you answer that question. I'm just talking about you're out there and you meet someone that you haven't met before, or you're at some networking event and somebody walks up to you and says, hey, what do you do for a living? How do you answer it? If you're like most real estate agents, people will say things like, I'm a realtor, I sell homes, or I help people find their dream homes, or I work with investors, or they'll say things like that. I sell real estate. Well, I'm going to suggest to you that you change your mindset. And I take some time to talk about this as we kick off this series. I don't know if you need headphones to hear. Can somebody just tell me if you're hearing me okay? I'm on headphones, but I want to make sure you can hear me. I sell homes. Okay, Judy, I'm going to help you change that. So obviously you can hear me. So I'm going to keep going. So Judy and everyone else watching, here's the mindset shift. I want to suggest to you that you say, I own a real estate business. So I own a real estate business. So everybody get that? So just think about what happens when you say, don't say I sell homes, you say I own a real estate business. Let me tell you why most real estate agents don't say that. They think that the person that owns the real estate business, the brokerage, your owner-broker is the business owner. I'm going to suggest to you that you are the business owner. So when you start saying, I own a real estate business, or, I'm a real estate business owner is another way to say it, you'll start actually shifting your mindset around this idea that you're a business owner. There you go. I own a real estate business. I'm going to tell you something. When you start saying that affirmation every day, you'll start making decisions differently about how you run your business. It's not just about sales. And if I'm going to jump in and start coaching people on how to build a real estate team, I've got to get you to accept that idea right now. You are a real estate business owner, and you're a smart real estate business owner when you are creating your business, your real estate team inside another brokerage. You don't want to take on all the headaches of bricks and mortar and cutting the checks and dealing with the legalities. Let the brokers handle that part for you. You get to do the best part, and the best part is to go out and sell homes, work with people, build people on your own team to leverage that for yourself. Okay, so from this point on, everybody listening, when you're asked that question, what do you do for a living? You're going to say something like, I own a real estate business, or I'm a real estate business owner, and you'll see where that changes for you. So here's what we're going to talk about today. 2 critical keys to team building. Absolute critical keys to team building. Number 1, hire talent. Number 2, implement effective business and real estate systems. That is the absolute 2 critical keys. So let me talk a little bit about both of them. What are those 2 keys? All right, so hiring talent. You have to start with an administrative assistant. An admin assistant, if you haven't already hired someone, is the absolute first person to bring on board. Now, in fact, one of the things that you're going to hear me continue to talk about throughout this series is literally comes back to these 2 things. Hire talented people to key positions, and then implement effective systems. So I'm going to talk a little bit about these today, and as we go through these next 12 weeks, I'll dive in deeper into other topics and maybe come back to this. And by the way, if you want to get the schedule of what we're going to do each week, just go to realestateteambuilder.com and click on the blog, and you'll actually have it posted right now. It's the list of topics that we're going to cover for the 12 weeks. So realestateteambuilder.com is where you'll learn about that. All right, so back to hiring talent. Hi, Brian. Thanks for joining. And hey, Brian, I owe you, let's connect. I owe getting in touch with you for sure, because I know you're interested in building a team. So hiring talent, before you even think about bringing the first buyer's agent, this is what you're going to hear me say again and again. You have to have your own house in order. That means all your individual systems for whether you decide to build a team or not need to be in place. I'll go over what those systems are in just a moment. I want to stay focused on hiring talent. Now, a couple things. You'll find that when you're closing maybe a couple, I generally coach people around 2 closings or so a month, you're ready to hire an assistant. All right, we'll talk about that. I'll get into some more details about your assistant in a future Facebook Live that we're going to do here. And the assistant, if you don't have one, is a critical hire, because they can also not only probably take 25% of the stuff off your plate, tasks that you're doing that you really should be paying an assistant for, and they can also help you put the systems in place. Because here is the reality, everybody. This is why we built this entire program that we'll talk to you about in a little bit here, this Real Estate Team Builder program. Nobody has the time to put the systems in place. We know this. That's why at WBNL Coaching, we created the turnkey system to help you do everything that you need to do to build your team, because you don't have time to do it. And then you know what else is crazy? Even the clients of ours that have hired us to coach them and or bought our turnkey system that literally has everything that you need to do from A to Z, they still don't have time to make it happen. They aren't even all using it effectively unless they sit down and carve the time out, and that generally works when we coach them through it, okay? So we've done the heavy lifting. We've done the hard work. We're going to walk you through how to hire that talented first person, and that first person is definitely an assistant. An administrative assistant that's going to help you with transaction coordination perhaps, or actually, let me step back. I actually think that if your company has a TC, you should leverage the TC first. Then hire an assistant who is going to come in and literally help you with other things at the TC. So you take the TC stuff off the table. That's the least inexpensive way for you to eliminate some of those tasks. Now you need to hire that assistant to help you with how you get ready for a listing, other tasks for marketing, other things that if you're going to build a team that they could essentially help you establish all the systems that you need to put in place, okay? So that's the first key hire. Now, if you're planning on building a larger team, and by a larger team, I'm going to tell you more than 3 people, then you literally want to consider hiring a team manager. A team manager is going to be the person who is going to help you recruit, train, and hold accountable the buyer's agent. So this is a critical hire. Number 2 is the team manager, should you choose to hire, work on building a big team. All right, so that's the key around the first one is talent is an admin / office manager / coordinator that is going to help you with listings and marketing and putting your systems in place, and then later maybe a team manager. So the next piece, as I mentioned, is implementing effective systems, right? So just kind of flip back here so that you get the notes here, right? You're going to hire an admin assistant. You're going to potentially hire a team manager. So let me just talk to these for a minute, and then I'll come back and dive into it. All right, so these to me are the key business systems that you need in place for you. You know, half of the clients that I'm coaching right now have found me for team building because they made the mistake of hiring people to their team before they were ready. Now, a lot of them had an assistant already, no problem there. Many people had an assistant. They were maybe not leveraging the assistant the way they needed to, but what happened is they started getting busy and they had more leads and they didn't know what to do with, and so they just said, oh, I'm going to build a team. I'm going to hire some buyer's agents. They brought the buyer's agents in, and then they soon discovered that they were not ready for the buyer's agents. Because, folks, the bottom line to team building is that you're building a small brokerage. People want to be on your team, not just for the leads, by the way. They want to be on your team because they're not making it on their own. They're not making it out there. They're struggling, and that's a whole piece that we'll get into in a later coaching session on the mentality. In fact, we'll talk about it next week, the mentality of the 4 archetypes and who's the perfect person for your team. So just trust me when I say when someone's on your team, you know what they want? They want culture. They want leadership. They want you. They want to learn from you. The worst mistake you can make is hire someone who wants to be exactly you, because they're not going to hang with you. So there's a time and a place, but you can't even begin to help anybody and leverage the benefit of having the right team member if you do not have these business systems in place. So let me walk through it, and then we'll talk a little bit about it. your basic business and financial systems are just simply, do you have a corporation set up? Are you running your business as a true business? Do you have the basic essentials in place to run your team as a business? Then you need your vision, mission, core values, which actually at WBNL Coaching, we're labeling that your ethos, okay? This is really how you describe what your culture is, how you can let someone see what you are all about for your clients and for your agents. You have to be able to create your unique value proposition in what I call your attraction plan. You have to know what that is for your clients first, your buyers and sellers, and then you have to make sure you're really clear about who is the perfect person you want to attract to your team. All right, those are the keys you have to have in place, 1, 2, 3, right off the bat. And some of that is just some homework and some sitting down and really getting clear about who you are. If you want to have success in building a very profitable, fun, exciting, dynamic, successful team, you have to do the work first. You do not jump into just hiring people and hope it all works out. They will come onto your team and quickly bounce right out. Here's why. Because I'm going to tell you folks, I've been doing this for 20-something years. I really do understand this. And hopefully you can hear from my voice, and you can see my face. I am so passionate about this. I'm so passionate about this that I kind of left the corporate world to jump in because I always dreamed I was going to talk to people and help and create a solution for people who want to build a team. And guess what? That is totally what we're doing. Hey, Linda Jo Brown, so glad you could join us today. And Mimi, I see that you're here as well. Thanks for joining us on this Facebook Live. Super excited to have you here. And listen, this is not just a one-way conversation. Live streaming needs to be a little bit about ask questions. Feel free to jump in and ask me any questions here as we're going along. I'm going to just kind of finish up here on business systems, but if somebody has a question, I'll stop and we'll dive in and we'll talk about it. And eventually, I think Facebook Live is going to get more into the way Blab worked, which Matt Emerson and I really enjoyed because we were able to kind of create a dynamic talk show with that. But right now, it's kind of me talking to you, unless you ask a question, and then I'll be happy to respond to it. All right, so I'm down to number 4 there. Let me go back to it real quick and just... So a business plan and goal setting. Do you have a business plan? You know what, guys? We have a free business plan at WBNL Coaching. Just go to WBNL. I lost my mic. Got a little excited there. Go to WBNLcoaching.com and click on the membership tab, and you can join as a free member. And as a free member, you get our complete business planning course and all the downloads. We walk you through how to build a business plan. And you can also find out about our membership. We have a really super jam-packed, powerful membership program that's only $44 a month. That gives you, all the systems, basically, the course work for all the systems I'm talking about right here. We have built training around that so that you can put your systems in place before you're ready to jump into the team building. And then we also, of course, have monthly webinars that we do, live webinars that are recorded and available for you. We do monthly marketing for you. There's just a ton of stuff that we're doing on a serious budget. $44 a month. You'll basically get me coaching you, on demand, kind of Netflix style when you're ready to handle it. Okay, so back to systems, right? Business plan, goal setting. I bet you don't have one. I'm just saying, because I find 10 to 15, 20% of people have an actual business plan. That's why we provide that for free for everybody. You have to have, what's that website again? Hey, Jill, so glad to see you here, Jill. It's WBNL Coaching. That stands for it doesn't stand for W. It stands for Wandering But Not Lost Coaching, WBNL Coaching. You see it on the screen right there, .com. And then realestateteambuilder.com is our other site where you learn about our turnkey system. But go check out, go take advantage of what we have to offer for free. As a matter of fact, that monthly coaching I was just talking about, that monthly membership program, you can try us out for 30 days for free. Go in there and see if there's value to you, and then you'll start getting charged $44. You can cancel at any time. All right, database. That is the most important key thing after your business plan. How do you stay in touch with your database and your referral system? That is what we're all striving for. And I find, again, through my coaching experience and the years in the business, that so many people just don't have the basics in place for this. We at WBNL Coaching highly recommend Top Producer. I have come full circle on Top Producer, and through coaching agents all across the country, I have really discovered, folks, that you need more than just a CRM and a nice website. You've got to have a full-on program that is going to manage your business so that you can create an exit strategy in one day. Isn't that the goal? Isn't it one day we want to actually sell our business? Isn't that what we're doing it for? Well, frankly, the way we coach, the systems that we're training you on at WBNL Coaching, the Real Estate Team Builder program is all about that. Helping you set all that stuff up in place so that you literally can sell your business or train your replacement one day, right? Okay, so all about your database. Then you have to have a system for how you do sellers. How do you do your listings from A to Z? How you work with buyers. Do you farm? What is the system for that? What is your lead generation and follow-up systems? And then if you're going to build a team, you also need a recruiting system, all right? So those are the key systems that you need to have in place before you even begin to build a team. Now, you might decide, I don't want to build a team. I got to tell you, those systems I just talked about, you need to have in place as an individual successful agent. You just need it. It's the only way that you're going to be able to run your business as a true business, all right? So those systems are key to what I wanted to talk about there is when you have your systems in place, that when you're ready to go and hire your first agent, they're going to plug into what you already do. This is why I spent so much time initially here on, are you ready to go? Do you have things in place so that you can build this team? And if you don't, it's not going to work for you. Just trust me. Just don't even go there. You've got to put the time in right now to establish the business systems. Even if you have, okay, if you're sitting there listening to this and you're saying, but Jan, I have all these leads and I'm blowing it. You know what? There's a little stopgap measure that you could potentially do just to stop the bleeding, which would be maybe to give out some referrals or bring somebody in that could help you. But in the long run, if you want to have a really powerful team, you have got to hire the talent and put those key systems in place. When you do that, you will literally have such prosperity around this. You'll basically be able to leverage your time and have, a lot more fun with what you're doing and not working 60, 70 hours a week, which is what most of you are doing. That is the bottom line, folks. You really want to be able to balance your time and have a little bit more fun and not work yourself to death, because I frankly think that most people that I see today in this real estate business, the business is running them. Does anyone else feel like that? And I know that the truth is that you all want to have structure. You all want to leverage, the idea of building a team. Everybody I talk to really would love to have a little bit more freedom and a little bit more, time to do things. Instead, what happens is their day goes by and it's filled with, I need to handle this problem. And it's just reaction management, putting out the fires. Well, you have to, I'll kind of wrap it up here. Exactly, Brian. That's exactly what it is. So let me give you some advice, Brian, and everyone else that's listening. You have got to be vigilant to time blocking in your schedule. So one of the books that I recommend, everybody that I coach, I recommend that you read this or you download the audio or give me a call and I'll send you my Cliff Notes on it, okay? Or shoot me a text or send me an email and I'll send you the information on this. It's called E-Myth Revisited by Michael Gerber. E stands for entrepreneur. So the E-Myth Revisited is a just classic book for small business owners, and there's several amazing takeaways in this book. And the subtitle of the book, I'm paraphrasing, is something like "Why Most Small Businesses Fail and What to Do About It." And so this guy he's been around for years. He's talking about how technicians, people who are good at something, i.e. selling real estate, baking, bread, fixing motorcycles, whatever the situation is, they start a business. Why? Because it's America and it's awesome and we're great and we can be, it's the entrepreneurial spirit. Anybody can start a business here. And we all want to do that, right? And that's why we all got in the real estate business, isn't it? Didn't we all get in the real estate business because we wanted to? Let's see if everybody can agree here. We wanted to have more freedom, more time. How's that working out for you? And what did you find out, all of you that left some other business perhaps, or some company where you were in a corporate situation or you were hourly or you were getting paid? You were limited in the income that you can make. So truly owning your own business this is why we do it. And those of you that are doing well in it are making the most money because you literally work your tail off. So I'm here to tell you there's an easier way, there's a better way, and that better way is back to this E-Myth book. Technicians that are great at doing X, Y, or Z, we'll stick with selling real estate, are great at that, but they're not great at running a business. That is literally the basis of our training program. Our entire WBNL coaching and the real estate team builder program is all about you own a real estate business, right? Right back to the beginning. You own a real estate business. You're a real estate business owner. And you have got to start treating your business like a business. Now, the only way you're going to get out of the rat race of the day-to-day, everything that you have, you're listening to me right now and you're going, oh my gosh, I have this to do. I have this to do. I have this to do. How am I going to get it done? I'm going to come right back to this in just a second with time blocking. But I want to stick on E-Myth for a second. Another principle in there is that Gerber talks about you have to find the balance of working on your business while you're in your business. On and in, working on the business while you're working in the business. Now here's what happens to most of you. You're always in the business. You're in the middle of the business. You're out taking care of the fires and the escrows, and you don't have a balanced approach to it, and you get done. And I'm not saying you don't work hard. Trust me, I know you're putting 10, 12 hours a day in so you can get that deal closed so that you can handle the fires for tomorrow. So you have to carve out time in your week. And I'm going to tell you right now, you start with 1 to 2 blocks of time. In your calendar, you are all using some kind of calendar. I don't even care if it is the old school, I can't even think of the name of it, but you know what I'm saying, the day timer that you get from the office store. Some of you are still using, that's awesome. If that works for you, then I want you to carve out and color code on your schedule for the week a place where you're going to say, on my business. You're going to work on your systems, and you have to treat it like it was a listing appointment. This is the key. And I'm not asking you to do this 2 hours a day every day. I'm saying carve out at least 2 hours right now. Just everybody make a commitment. 2 hours. There's something else that I'm going to recommend that you do. And we'll have this available. I'll put it up on the blog on realestateteambuilder.com. realestateteambuilder.com. I'm going to put our business system assessment up there along with the stuff, some show notes, if you will. We'll talk a little bit about E-Myth. We'll put some of the references I've talked about today up on the blog. So I want you to download our real estate business system assessment, and I want you to take this self-assessment. This is the actual document I use when I start one-on-one coaching with someone, and I'm going to give this document to you so you can take a look at what's going on in your business. Just take some time, download it. It's 5 pages. It's simple questions. It's going to allow you to take a look at what do you need to do in your business. Now, we all need to work on everything, okay? There's probably a little tweaking to every particular system that you have in place. Maybe some of you have no systems in place. That's okay, too. We're not talking about the past. We're not worrying about tomorrow. We're going to focus on right now, today. What does your business look like? This business system assessment is going to let you take a look at that. Then it's going to let you prioritize. Now, I'm going to tell you, when you do this, because this is what happens when I sit with a client. Everyone's generally overwhelmed. They're like, oh my gosh, there's too much for me to do. I'm never going to get through this. Yeah, that's how it's going to be for some of you, and that's okie dokie. It's okay. What you're going to do is you're going to take small bites of the apple, okay? The elephant, one bite at a time analogy. It is okay that there's a ton of stuff for you to do. The assessment is going to help you figure it out, and based on those systems that I talked about, it's going to help you prioritize. What do you want to work on first? What's the highest and best use of your time? And that's the other thing, guys. You need to work on things one step at a time. Not a little bit of this system and a little bit of that and then a little bit. It'll take you 3 times as long to accomplish it. So we're going to focus on one thing at a time. I recommend another book called Getting Things Done by David Allen. I'll put the reference to that. And the whole approach to, and I'll actually give you if you want to go to realestateteambuilder.com, click on the blog. I'll have a post-episode blog here with some of these resources. There's an excellent tool that I still use to this day from Getting Things Done. That's a project manager. So you're going to do this business system assessment, step 1. Then you're going to chunk it all down into projects. So it might be what I need to do to work on my listing system. For some of you, it might be I need a listing presentation or a pre-listing package, whatever it is. You're going to take that project and you're going to break it down into the next action steps. You're going to do it for each of the projects that you have to do, each of the systems. You're going to take some time. That's going to be your first hour. Everybody, if you're going to let me coach you for 12 weeks, this is the advice I'm going to give you right now. Download that business system assessment. Take the assessment. Be real. Do not get overwhelmed. take each of the systems and create project lists. I'm going to give you the document to do that, okay? You're going to create the project list that the system's going to be, my listing system is complete. That's my goal. How do I know it's complete? It means I have everything ready, A to Z, to jump out and start taking listings. And then with the bigger picture for you guys that want to build a team, remember, you're fine-tuning your system so that when you bring a buyer in, they plug into exactly what you do. So have the bigger picture idea of, I'm putting the system in place. This is how a buyer's agent is going to do it on my team, or how they're going to work with a buyer, or how they're going to farm, and so on, how they're going to stay in touch with their database. You get it? So you're going to do the assessment, break each system down into its projects list, and then you're going to prioritize them. And you're just going to work on one at a time. That's how you get it done. One at a time. If you're really in tough shape and have no systems, just trust me, it's going to take you about 4 to 6 months to make this done. All right, it's going to take you 4 to 6 months, because remember, majority of your time already is working where? In the business. You can't stop working in the business. You got to pay the bills. You got to keep it going. I'm trying to help you get through this next 12 weeks. I'm going to walk you through things that you can do to get your own house in order, so that you, and then obviously be talking about how to build your team. All right. So to recap today, we talked about 2 critical keys to success for team building: is hire talent in 2 key positions, right? It was, you want to hire an assistant, and if you're going to have a larger team, you're going to hire a team manager. And then you're going to put these critical, I'm going to put them back up for you real quick. The having to cancel that appointment. There's the little deal that says, if you erase, you must replace, right? You know that little saying. So if you erase the time that you're working on your business, you need to just replace it somewhere else in your calendar. Otherwise, what happens is you never get it done. That is where you are right now, folks. If you haven't been taking the time to work on your systems, you literally just haven't done it. You just haven't put the time in to do it because you feel overwhelmed. The way you're going to not feel overwhelmed is to start working on it a little bit at a time. All right, that's my advice to you. And you're going to go to realestateteambuilder.com. That's where you can check out our whole program. If you have any questions about it, you can reach out to me. And you can also check out the blog where we'll be posting things. And then WBNLcoaching.com is where you're going to go to check out our, if you're not ready for team building, go check out WBNL Coaching so that you can get that free business plan. Join as a free member. Give us a test drive. Jump in and let us coach you through these systems. That's why we created the what we call the Wanderers Club. We created the Wanderers Club, $44 a month. First 30 days is free, so that you can, on your own time, exactly what I just talked about today. So if you were to follow my advice today and you carved out a couple hours a week, and you didn't want to, necessarily hire me one-on-one to do coaching, which is fine, you can hire me through this $44 a month, where you can then get me coaching you through the things that you want to work on when you want to work on it on your own time, and for $44 a month. You cannot beat that. All right, that's what I'm going to leave you with. Remember, realestateteambuilder.com, WBNL Coaching. Next week, I'm going to talk about Monday, 10 o'clock right here. We're going to go 11 more weeks. I'm going to talk about the 4 archetypes that are in real estate, and I'm going to talk about how they fit into team building and get a little bit more into helping you figure out who is the perfect person to join your team.